After reviewing Bass Rush Dream and it turning out to be a good first impression for fishing games on the SEGA Dreamcast, I thought it was time to check out the next game for said cursed console, thanks to the likes of Shenmue that almost bankrupted Sega. Yeah, Shenmue is not only one of the worst games of all time, but one that almost killed a major studio in the gaming industry that once rivaled Nintendo and Atari.
That's no good.
Anyways, enough negativity, at least for the moment. Today we're looking at Lake Masters Pro, a game in the style of Fisherman's Bait where you don't get to see underwater and just stare at the surface instead. Nice JPEG, by the way.
Nice fucking model!
This game was developed by Dazz and published by Nexus Interactive in the year 2000. Also, I couldn't find much information regarding this game online. Then again, a Japan exclusive fishing game for SEGA Dreamcast would no doubt be treated like that anyways. So let's just get into the controls, as there's no player setup in this game. The way this controls does take some time to get used to. Then again, we are talking about a SEGA Dreamcast controller here. Man oh man, you'll never get used to this thing, let alone a Nintendo 64 one. Anyways, use the analog stick to move around, A to cast, B to slow reel, right trigger to fast reel, and that's about it. You cannot change the view. So get used to seeing JPEGs with a tiny 3D rendered world underwater in the upper left hand corner. This is how the game plays, and it sucks. With a whopping 48 lures to play with, yes, this game has a lure fetish. You can select from a variety of different kinds. You got the surface skippers, sinkers, vibrators.
The Mega Mixer! That'll do.
Okay, that escalated quickly. So anyways, you can also craft your very own lure. Yes, that's right. In this fishing game, you can craft a lure using various types of hooks, bobs, and lines. It's a neat niche addition that I've yet to see in any other fishing game, but also nothing special.
Okay, Kyle, you're being a negative Nancy. Stop it.
Another thing you can do is talk to your guide before you fish.
I see. Right. So, what were we talking about?
What'd he say?
No idea. I don't speak a word of Japanese.
With several lakes to fish in across most of Japan, sorry Northern Japan fans, there's a good amount of variety. But within each lake is several spots to fish, so while the amount of lakes is decent, there's a bit more within, such as 6 spots in the lake I chose. Each spot will be good for catching different kinds of fish, so let's jump into free fishing mode and see if the gameplay can hold up in comparison to Bass Rush Dream.
Popcorn! Get the red hot popcorn!
There's only 2 modes to play in Lake Masters Pro, those being a free mode and travel mode. We'll start out with free fishing, where we can select our lake, lure, and spot to fish. After that, we just cast and sit and wait. And wait. And wait. And wait. And wait. Changing our lure and fishing location several times in the hopes to finally get a bite. It's a slow, grueling process, much like getting your ID renewed at your local DMV. But once you do get a bite, it's time to tango with the scaly beast. Yeah, get used to seeing that, as this game has some fucked up controls. It took me an hour to start better understanding how things work, yet I cannot remember how they work now as I type this review. It's literally a mess, and also only in Japanese, so non-weebs or non-Japanese, good luck figuring this out. Yet, also, it doesn't matter cause the JPEG style fishing is quite boring. I mean, you can only stare at a JPEG for so long before you lose your mind. Why they chose to go with this style of game over full 3D one, I'll never understand. It's not like the console wasn't capable. Bass Rush Dream is full 3D and looks way better than this game, and that was originally a Nintendo 64 game. Eventually, I just gave up on this mode and tried the last one. I mean, after losing fish after fish, it just got old. You can only fall flat on your face so many times before you get tired of it and just walk away.
I know you told your friend you're not okay.
But then a miracle happened after I came back to this mode after travel mode, just in the hopes of finally grasping this game's mechanics. Yet I still kept losing the fish. Not sure if there's some type of AI assistance in travel mode or what, but fish rarely bite and usually get off the hook, or the line breaks within seconds of getting a bite. But for one time only, a miracle occurred. I guess this mode called Travel is a tournament mode? I mean, I do see other boats in the JPEGs, so I'm guessing it's a tourney? Either way, in this mode, you just travel around the different lakes and must catch certain fish, I think? I'm not entirely sure, I don't know Japanese.
Holy shit! No way!
The only thing I can really say about travel mode is the fish actually bite more often. Plus, by now, I'm starting to get used to the clunky controls, which I mostly blame on the Eldritch Horror that is the SEGA Dreamcast controller. It was just a nice change of pace overall to start catching fish left and right for once. The mode is fine, but I wish the game was in English so I could better understand the instructions. Sadly, that's it in terms of what the game has to offer. It's okay, and a bit of a letdown from Bass Rush Dream. The music is fine and the audio quality is much better than Bass Rush Dream.
dance. Oh yeah, I boogie, boogie, dance, dance, dance. Boogie, boogie, boogie.
However, the lack of content and features does hurt it. I mean, outside of free fish and travel, what else is there? Online? Can't do it. There's no local multiplayer, from what I can tell either. I do wish there was a camera switch so I can see underwater instead of staring at those flat, boring, lifeless JPEGs all day long. At the end of the day, like Masters Pro is a mediocre game I can recommend as long as you could deal with its awful controls and mechanics, on top of a lackluster atmosphere with JPEGs instead of a full 3D environment. I mean, come on, even the PlayStation 1 and Nintendo 64 had full 3D games. I'd expect this on the Super Nintendo or Sega Genesis, not a console that was meant to compete with the PlayStation 2, Xbox, and GameCube. But still, for what it is, Lake Masters Pro is just okay, and you should try it. As for when I'll tackle the last 4, I'm not exactly sure, as I got several Dynasty Warriors, Samurai Warriors games to cover as well, plus some Godzilla games. Anyways, that's it for this video. See you all later.